The Ontario government is promising to freeze rent increases in 2021, which can potentially impact the decisions of sellers and renters. And since the Bank of Canada is once again holding the key interest rate, buyers will also be encouraged to remain active in the market. So today I'm going to share with you what this means for the rest of the 2020 real estate market, coming right up. Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode of the weekly Toronto Real Estate Market Update. If we're just meeting for the first time and this is your first time here, my name is Fred and welcome to my channel where I bring you the best real estate tips and latest market updates to help you achieve your real estate goals. So if this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel. Now today I want to talk to you about the Bank of Canada's recent decision to keep the key interest rate at 0.25%. The decision to bring it down this low was initially made back in March when the coronavirus pushed the economy into a crisis. And the Bank of Canada has stated that they intend to keep it this low while inflation is below the bank's 2% target. And right now, inflation is estimated to be at 0.61% with a forecast of 1.26% for 2021, which means the key interest rate will remain low for quite some time, and which also means that the cost of borrowing from a lender will remain low in the foreseeable future. In fact, this could be one of the reasons why home sales have been going up. Last week, we saw 388 freehold homes that sold based on the latest stats available, and you can see that sales volumes have been increasing since April. In fact, the average increase since April was about 9% per week. But what's really interesting here is that home sales have been higher for the past 3 months compared to 2019 during the same time. And I think this partially has to do with the fact that the typical real estate seasons are lagging behind right now. We literally missed the entire spring market, but the activity is more or less taking place throughout summer instead, which is why this summer was much busier compared to last year. But the real question is, what is the fall season going to look like for the Toronto real estate market? I think that as businesses are all reopening and kids are going back to school, buyers and sellers will have more time to be active in the market, so there might not be much change in terms of how much activity we expect to see. And if the Bank of Canada is holding the key interest rate once again, then buyers will have more reason to stay active while sellers will want to take advantage of that as well. But this might actually not be the case for all home sellers. Home prices were trending up since mid-April, but they look to have reached their peak as they're now starting to float around the same level. Last week, the average sale price in Toronto was just over $1.3 million, which isn't nearly as high as it was before the pandemic when the average price was over 1.5. So if prices are trending down, this might be a reason why some sellers will hold off until there's more certainty in the market and the overall economy if they plan to sell their home. But not all sellers think this way, since some will sell now despite falling prices so that they can also take advantage of current market conditions as a buyer when they move into their next home. Last week, there was a 22% drop in new listings with only 529 homes listed on the market. But overall, there are currently more than 2,400 freehold homes for sale right now, which is more than the previous week. So if there are fewer listings hitting the market and overall inventory is rising, then what this could mean is that the properties are not selling or they're taking much longer to sell in the current market, while selling for less than what some people might have estimated market values to be. But one reason that might explain why home inventory is still strong is perhaps that some home sellers are real estate investors trying to manage their finances during these financially difficult times. And we know that mortgage deferrals are coming to an end for a lot of homeowners, but what also could have hurt some investors were the non-paying tenants who were not at risk of being evicted at the time since evictions were banned. But in August, the Landlord and Tenant Board reopened and started to review eviction requests again. And this included a backlog of thousands of eviction applications. In fact, once those eviction applications are processed, do you think this could lead to a massive wave of evictions? Let me know in the comments below and give this video a thumbs up if you're learning something new. And it's possible that after all these evictions take place, several rental units will become vacant in a rental market that's very slow, with prices falling by more than 10% in some areas. And to make matters worse for property investors, the Ontario government recently announced a new plan to freeze rent increases for 2021, and the plan is to have this introduced in the fall. So if rents are down, a rent freeze is coming, and the overall rental market is slow, these facts could explain some of the stats we're seeing in the Toronto condo market, which is known to attract local and foreign investors. Condo sales have been trending down since July by an average of 4% per week, with last week showing 344 condos sold based on the latest stats available. And ever since the pandemic hit, local and foreign investors found it more difficult to find cash flowing properties since rents have come down and are also expected to remain low for quite some time. So this could explain why condo sales have been falling, and if they continue to go down, then it's only a matter of time before prices follow a similar trend. But for now, Toronto condo prices are balanced balanced and have been floating around the average price of $678,000 for the past 4 months. And you can see that condo prices overall are higher compared to last year, but it's unclear at this time what direction prices will go as we get closer to the fall season. But what we can probably assume is that buyers will remain active in the market, and I think this is a great idea. The cost of borrowing will remain low thanks to the Bank of Canada, and condo inventory is still very high. Last week, just over 1,000 condos were listed for sale. New listings came down 9% from the previous week, but there are nearly 5,400 condos for sale right now, a number that has increased by 5% in just 1 week. So if the number of condo listings are going up, then I think it's possible we might see condo prices actually come down as we maintain a Toronto condo buyer's market. And it's difficult to say that the coronavirus impacted Toronto's real estate only in a negative way, because while this is true for sellers since home values came down, but have slowly started to go back up in the last 6 months, now is still probably an excellent time if you're a first-time home buyer. And this is predicated on the fact that inventory is high and prices are balanced. Okay, so now here's a quick recap of last week's stats. Prices of freehold properties have been trending down, and it looks like we won't see home prices go back up this year to where they were before the pandemic. And since prices are falling, this could explain why sales have been going up. And while home listings are fluctuating inconsistently, the total amount of inventory available is still looking pretty good. With condos, prices have gone up and down, but have been more or less balanced over the last 4 months. Condo sales are trending down, and this could have something to do with the lack of foreign investments, or perhaps buyers who were originally looking into condos have now turned to the freehold market since home values are also down. And what could be driving condo prices down is the competition that sellers currently face with the amount of inventory available, since enough supply will turn this market segment into a buyer's market. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you can do me a favor and give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you gain value and learn something new, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Oh,